YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's very different video on YouTube. Now you're probably thinking, Ivan, how come you're not doing a toy review today? Well, the reason why I'm actually not doing a toy review today is mainly because I'm actually very, very tired. And of course, yes, after a massive bombshell of Flip toys, so what I'm going to do is to take a bit of a rest. And because of my tiredness, after all of that massive decluttering of various toys that I've literally forgotten to review, basically. And of course, yes, that's why I've woken up very late, of course. But I'm also going to have a bit of a chit chat of some of the various things. Sorry, my chair. I've got like an office chair, which in a sense I feel terrible of just moving around, because it just sort of, when I just sort of do this, you know, the back sort of rocks by as well too, though, which is not really that typical for office chairs. But anyways, what I will do is that the first thing I might show to you in this video is, of course, this. This, of all, is a new computer mouse that my dad has actually gave it to me, though. It's quite a different mouse in a sense, because, you know, the switch is on the middle. So, of course, it's much more easier to turn off and turn on. I had another wireless battery-powered mouse that had troubles of actually turning on and turning off all the time. Whenever I did this, you know, my fingers were a little bit, you know, dodgy, and of course, yes, they were a little bit bigger than my, the finger palm section thing is kind of, you know, well, I don't know how to actually contemplate words and stuff, though, because I'm trying to, you know, try and make you understand and why I've got this mouse and replaced the other mouse. And of course, there's a reason why I did this is because, well, I was having trouble with my fingers to turn on and turn off the mouse when it comes away from the computer. Like either I'm giving the computer a rest, or maybe I'm tired, or maybe just to do something else. That's what I often do whenever I turn off the computer. I just, you know, turn off the computer mouse, actually, more like. So, very importantly enough, it's a very nice mouse. It's quite smooth. It's got like a very nice sort of elegant sort of shape into it, though. It's kind of much more easy to use because you're not relying on the cord. And most importantly, it also comes with one AA battery already being supplemented. You know, it's actually a fairly nice looking device, though, if you want to go ahead and freely go ahead and, you know, control things better with that device, which is quite nice. Sorry for the rhyming here, eh? And I've also got a lot of computing announcements that I might go ahead and think about in the future. Oh yes, of course, yes. I'll come back to it later on, though, because next thing in the computing technology, of course, is this one. This is an A-level biology game, and of course, yes, because it's a Vlogust, I'll try and upload every August, every August, every day in August, with my face showing up there. So this is the game I might try and show it to you, though, in a separate video. If I have some time, though, maybe somewhat educational in a sense, though, because it is an educational game. Well, the funny thing is, well, maybe if I try and show it to you, though, like that into camera, overall it's quite an interesting looking type game. The A-level biology game, is that really a real game? Has anyone thought of playing it? Well, I wouldn't say that's basically a legitimate game, because, you know, it's quite a very different looking thing. If I turn the back cover like so, it looks quite interesting for a bit of artwork. Overall, whenever I think about this thing here, or should I say, this program, it is fairly nice. I can't see a copyright date. It says 2000 and 2001, so that's actually quite a fairly long time ago. It's from a company called Dorling Kindersley. I loved games like that, though. I used to remember all sorts of games like that, though, and the reason why I bought this was because way back, sorry about my sore throat, that was a bit cringy, because I just woken up early this morning. And of course, yes, whenever I think about the A-level biology game that I've got at the moment, and it costs about I'd say 150 pence. That's about £1.50 for this game now. And more coincidentally enough, this was from a charity shop not far from where I'm living now, which is actually quite coincidental in the sense that it's a nice looking little game. But would you say it's a game though, because there's no age rating involved, there's no visuals that would look like a game, it's just educational, or it's basically like a quiz. And it's, what does that says here? It says a comprehensive revision and customizable, as it says, to your level and learning. What's that called though? It's quite a very strange looking thing though. It's got some artwork on it though. To your level and learning requirements. Oh my goodness, I love covers like that. It's already got like a disc inside, which I'm not going to sort of, you know, show it to you though, because I've already told you that the game is already implemented. In fact, the game is already implemented though on the computer, and I still haven't accomplished them all. It's got like a generic game of such that I've got no idea of. I think it's like demo games. And here is that what you call like the rear of this front cover's pamphlet, like so. So there you go, that's all the readings which look like that. For 2001 and 2002 exams, improve your grade and achieve your full potential. Maximize your study time through self-paced learning. Over 1,000 questions to build your exam confidence. Surely that's actually quite an impressive little game though, but interesting enough, if I might show it to you in another video, it'll be great. And if I show it to you on the back of the packaging, if I press the cover back on, how does it go? I think it's on the back. And of course, yes, the reason why I bought this game is because, well, overall my computer is a very totally different animal, because this game here, whenever I think about it, so I've got another game that just starting to fall off. This game here is actually more well developed for, guess where, on Windows XP or Windows 98 or Windows 95 or the NT versions, or even the ME version of Windows. In fact, this actually is more suited to the older, you know, versions of Windows, rather than, let's say, like the newfangled versions of Windows. So I'm actually having troubles to fit the cover in, because, you know, I've got to put it back in shape and all that stuff. And interestingly enough, if I show it to you on the back of the cover, which looks like that, it's got some amazing artwork which relates into this program. I thought it was a game name, but the reason why I purchased this is because it has this symbol here. Now, I do know I always have a passion of very old educational Macromedia Flash games. Who remembers Macromedia Flash? Like, if anyone's born in like the year 2000s, and when they were like 2 years old, 3 years old, or 4 years old, tell me, have you ever played games which had symbols like that before? I did. I used to have like a couple of Disney games which had like this symbol here and that symbol there. I used to have a Winnie the Pooh game and also a Mickey Mouse version. I used to remember playing those when I was like 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, maybe 6 years old, when I was like, you know, just a young boy, just, you know, playing around with computers and stuff. Here you go, there's the operating system here. It says the audio is a 16-bit card, and interesting enough, there's some different pieces of PC information here. I'm not really that much experienced into computing and stuff, but as you can see, the operating system, it says Windows, Windows 95, Windows 98, and the NT versions of Windows, and the ME 2000 versions of Windows, the Millennium editions of Windows. So, you know, it's so nice. I'm actually having a bit of a trip back in time, sort of memory lane type moment, and it's actually quite impressive. And as I said before, it's done by a company called Dorling Kindersley, which they do some fantastic and amazing books. This logo here is very impressive. Whoever misses logos like that, that's amazing. You know, if I ever think about this logo here, it's so much more professional than today's debranded logo. You know, if only if we could go back into a time when Windows XP was very successful and we had the Frutiga orb, guess what? It would have came things back to life in a very different way. But this program is a totally different one, because overall when I applied that on computers like this today, all of a sudden the pixels would just go very frumpy and funny. It would just go absolutely funny. Like overall, the pixels in the game now, they're very old though, in the sense that they're actually kind of a little bit, how would you say it, different in a sense. Now to actually realise this, I think with 16-bit games on computers today, it's kind of a little bit, you know, different in a sense though, but, you know, it's interesting that, of course, yes, when I applied this, there are some images that, you know, whenever I heard about this program here, when I first played it, it actually kind of reminded me of something that you would play on other 80s or 90s computers, but also MS-DOS. That was actually quite impressive. I mean, what's happening? What happens if you play, like, you know, 16-bit computers? What happens if you play 16-bit computers on today's computers? It's kind of, you know, very funny though. Like, you know, this is actually very strange though, and, you know, as I can definitely tell, like, I've played this, but the problem is, many of those games don't really work. And, of course, yes, you know, I think, you know, what's actually very interesting about this, and because it's a bit of an oldie type game that's developed in, like, the early 2000s, you know, this game came out when I was born, and one interesting feature about, you know, games like this was that if you think about modern computers of today, is that they don't have the same supporting hardware, sound or mouse, / game controllers. Unfortunately, it's possible to emulate other older hardware in different softwares and other whatnot. And the video is by, sorry about my croaky voice because I've just been sleeping so much and I feel very tired, I suppose. And the video display is also very different as well. At the back, I can see it's like 640 and 480 pixels. That's 256 colors. If you ever think about computers of today, it's not that hard to emulate the older CGI and VGA video standards, but with the much lower resolution, it can actually make the computer look quite odd on a very modern monitor. You know, 320, 200 pixels. By 200 pixels with full colors that just doesn't look very sharp. They can still run. What's interesting about old games is that this game here, strangely enough, works well without an emulator. Even though I might have to go and get like an emulator one day though, if I have some time though. And of course, yes, you know, it's crazy, isn't it though, that my computer is still Windows 10. Haven't got upgraded to Windows 11 at the moment though, and it's running on 64-bit processors. It's fully compatible with the much more older 32-bit Windows games, and also the other pieces of software it tends to use. But it must emulate anything which uses, like, you know, if I was going to be playing 16-bit programs, you know, I must have to try and emulate anything by just going ahead and getting an emulator, you know, in software for security, of course. You know, of course, there are other times I have to find like workarounds to make the games work, and if no one else has done, they need to work before, and it's going to be very hard to figure out on your own, and even mine too as well. The other thing with 16-bit computing games and programs like this is that some of them have bugs which require patches on updating the program to make them work properly on newer computers. And, you know, the original release may like this, but may have an updated version, and they may work just, or do just work fine, hey? And they do have some various compatibility modes in Windows history for a very long time, and it may or may not work perfectly for all old games, but it's usually possible to get them work at the best of all times. It's very impressive. Yeah, it's actually quite nice. I used to play Macromedia games. It actually is quite sad that I really do miss Macromedia games. I've also got another subject that I might probably talk about, I'm not sure if I might be able to find more of those games which have that there as well, even though there's no age rating involved. What else could I possibly say? Oh yes, there is also one thing I've actually haven't done though, maybe in future plans. I might be doing like gameplay videos in the future, and also like the behind the scenes. No one has ever seen the behind the scenes video. I've got that coming up though. I think it's all down to do with my Microsoft Paint animations. Now, the problem that I'm having at the moment is that because of the memory system, because the memory system has been totally raised now, I did use a lot of different animation stuff and skills on previous programs and computers before. Now, just the one problem I had recently was that, you know, there is one aspect I've actually been having so far with this computer. When I was animating, I had to start over again because what I've totally lost was the older formality of different things that I've actually have lost the much more other older animated stuff that I must have been doing so far. I was working really hard, but then all of a sudden, and I think I actually did this onto my laptop, I did a whole bunch of Microsoft Paint animations, but then all of a sudden the stuff just got completely faded and wiped away, and I'm sort of thinking, well, that's not going to work. But now I actually came to the part where I can now contemplate to myself and just start to think, I might try and do like a video which talks about the different animated stuff I'm actually thinking of at the moment. You know, I'm actually fairly ambitious of actually going ahead to do a bit of, you know, animation. I'm still working on a new animation, hopefully completing by like the very last part of August or September. I really don't know, but so yes, I have got like another video on the works. So often it's so fun to have various videos on the cards, okay, which is fairly nice to know. The other thing I'm also looking forward to, whenever I'm making that video, it's going to be like a behind the scenes type video, because given the fact that of course I don't want to complain too much though, but the point is that I'm looking forward to making a behind the scenes video on how I make my animations via MS Paint, and then sort of transplant them and then sort of upload them onto YouTube. Maybe as a nice little factor, of course, that would be something totally impressive. And just to showcase, you know, of all the different videos I make on my YouTube channel in a very impressive way. I'm thinking of doing that though in October of half term, like maybe in the weekend. I really don't know though, but that might be quite interesting. Maybe let's just say September on the weekend, or October, if I have some time though, because I'm still ambitious of just doing the masses and masses of toy reviews and the masses of arts and crafts that I've got to do at the moment. But I will promise I will go ahead and do a bit of, you know, behind the scenes and how I make my animations in another video there. That would be very impressive. And I've also got like a vlog coming up on the 21st of September, Thursday the 21st of September. Now I don't know when, because the timing, because of course yes, I now tend to focus on like the times that have a very similar number to like the days on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. Maybe I could do a very early vlog. And then the nicest thing is, let me tell you something is, the nicest thing I've noticed in this computer that I'm using at the moment, my computer is now using Microsoft Family Features, and that's all down to the help of my parents. And the greatest part about having Microsoft Family Features is that while actually getting the computer to run 24/7, pardon me, sorry about that, while getting it to run like 24/7, I can still, you know, fully make use with the whole computer and whatnot, which would be fairly impressive. And that's amazing. That would be totally and utterly fantastic to do stuff. That would be great. You know, I'll be looking forward to contemplate into new different things along the way. And you know, with the Microsoft Family Features on the computer that I'm having at the moment, it's also making me very, very productive, which is a very nice thing, so that I can make like different videos in different hours and whatnot. Maybe a bit of wildlife outside, or another toy view, or any other videos like this. So the thing is, I will keep in touch of making videos of light, which relate into, you know, Microsoft Paint and its features as well. So that will be a very impressive subject. And also, I've got like a vlog on the 25th of September, which is the one I already said before. I'm not sure which subject I might choose, but I might definitely go for like, I don't know, maybe the Urusei, or maybe the 1980s anime franchises, like the one I was just talking about on the very first Vlogust type video, of course. And of course, yes, it's going to be quite a very interesting video of mine, because who would ever thought that, hey, I'll be able to do so, and to think upon of all the good and bad things that I've got to cover in a very privileged way, which would be fantastic in so many different ways of light. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Very awesome. You know, the other thing I was also thinking about, as I'm thinking about doing that Microsoft Paint animation type thing, hopefully it could either be done via recorded live in the camera, or I could definitely use Bandicam and sort of, you know, record my voice, and then sort of, you know, use some footage, record some footage of what I do, and that would be fantastic. Record some of the footage that I normally tend to do on screen, a little bit like, you know, digital art tutorials, animation tutorials, or other videos, computing videos of like. And of course, yes, it's running on Windows 10, which is nice. Overall, it's quite impressive that I still got the chance to think upon different stuff. Hopefully, as time extrapolates in a very big way, it actually is going to be very fantastic of what's going to be coming throughout the months to come in relationship into computing. But yet again, overall, it's been very nice talking about the subject that we're having at the moment, though, because I'm freaking dead tired, and I might have to catch some sleep. Despite how much I gotta do, though, I might probably take a shower around 8 o'clock or 8:30, if I have some time, though. But yeah, it's actually quite surprising somehow, actually, that I've never got around to do a bit of toy reviews. I'm sorry about that for today, though. But nevertheless, it's going to be quite interesting once I've got the chance to do, like, you know, more Vloggers videos like this. And that's it, really. So yeah, I've got like a nice looking piece of nostalgia to show you of me being lazy, because I'm just so tired after doing a massive bombshell of toys, and a nice looking new mouse, and also that behind the scenes feature of my animations that I do on MS Paint. But there is one more thing I forgot to show to you. I've actually came across a streaming site called Twitch. Now you're probably thinking, Ivan, how come do you use Twitch now these days? Now, the reason why I seem to now focus and use Twitch is because it's an amazing streaming service, but the real reason why I use Twitch is because, well, I don't do any live streams on Twitch and stuff. I mean, I know I do like videos and like that, but I know it's a live streaming service, but I don't really do that much in the way of streaming so much, of course, which is interesting. But the real reason why I often come and do a bit of stream participations is because I often come ahead and just to participate in streams which are done by, I think it's done, I can't really tell which person it was, the person Stuart Ashens, and he's actually got a lot of different videos of like though, just to see, you know, the different videos of like though. And I mean, I don't have to really show all of the videos that he's got though. So this is what we have. This is Stuart Ashens' Twitch page, and this is all the pages and all the videos that he's done so far. And it's so nice coming to Twitch just to come and chat to his streams. And it's such a nice thing. Like, I might as well close that. So the nicest thing I've done was that I've been participating onto Twitch just to take part on Stuart Ashen's streams, which is nice. Obviously, it's a very nice way to get heavily enticed and also incentivized by various people who you are influenced or who you can trust with. And this is the person I often tend to look at. This is Ashen's. Of course, yes, I might as well turn off because I get like a nasty DMCA and whatnot. So yes, I've gone into Twitch, which is a nice streaming service. And here we have Ashen's. And the nicest thing about this program is that I can definitely chat to him and other people of light, or other people who have participated in Twitch, who have both participated in his streams and also me as well, even though I don't do any streaming and stuff. Overall, it's a very nice streaming service. It's a nice little streaming service, because one thing about it is that unlike any other streaming servicing type programs, the videos that he makes, like all Twitch streamers, are very much universally independently produced, which is a very nice sign. And the real reason I always tend to look at Ashen's Twitch channel is because it's like another thing that he does along with YouTube, which is very, very nice to do so. It's actually quite a very impressive looking site, and along with his YouTube channel he does a lot of these streams, and they are fantastic, talking about video games, retro stuff, nostalgic stuff, and other whatnot. It's amazing, isn't it? Very amazing. I think that's going to be about it though, so that's very nice of me just having a bit of an exploration around with Twitch, which is a very nice streaming service for different things of like a multi-purpose streaming service of what you can talk about. So I think that's going to be about it for a video like this. Unusually short because I need to catch some rest, and I'm very sorry that I didn't do any toy reviews recently today on Thursday as I'm making this video, but I will go ahead and be right back on Friday and see what toys I might contemplate and might sort of choose to do a bit of toy reviewing and whatnot though. And also I've got to take a very early shower though, because I do know I'm just kind of pondering on the fact that I need to get myself changed, get everything washed, especially my clothes, because they'll be freaking dirty just a bit there. But anyways, hope you guys have a very nice day today. Sorry I can't really talk properly though, because I've just woken up very early. But anyways, please give this video a like, subscribe of what's going to be coming up on YouTube in the future at the moment. And as always, thank you so much for watching in this very strange computing Vlogust video. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now, as always. Oh, I've got to catch some sleep now. Pretty tired actually. Bye.